Good evening, my name is Bruce Twain and welcome to the Gotham City News. To kick off my top 5.5, I've gone with the Hulk, aka Bruce Banner. He is a kick-ass superhero with lots of powers. He is the half because he is good, but he can't control his powers. My number 5 on the list of superheroes is Superman. He is an iconic superhero, wears the iconic red and blue costume, which is cool. Also, I think he's a bit overrated, so I've been controversial and called him rubbish. For number 4, I've gone with Iron Man, a billionaire playboy, industrialist and ingenious engineer. He is a smart superhero and you don't get many of those anymore. Also, he is super rich. Halfway through my top 5.5, and this leads me nicely to Spider-Man, the superhero every nerdy teenager wants to be, bitten by a radioactive spider, given superhuman abilities, and wears a cool costume. Getting closer, and my penultimate superhero is Optimus Prime. Prime is the leader of a faction of transforming robots, the Autobots. He is depicted as a brave, powerful, wise and compassionate leader with a strong sense of justice and righteousness. He puts his talents to use, improving the universe and the protecting of the inhabitants of Earth. So that is why he is number 2. Someone who protects Earth gets my vote. News just in. Now we get to the main event. Number 1 on the list of my top 5.5 is Batman, the greatest superhero of all time. No superhuman powers, fueled by vengeance to rid the world of criminals. Because he has no powers makes him better already. But what makes him better is that he is one of the greatest and most iconic superheroes of all time, globally and culturally. Thank you and good night.
Enough of that, let's get down to business. It was hard to do, but we've managed to narrow down to our top 5.5 legendary villains. Now it's time to start with the one, the only, Doomsday. He killed Superman, enough said. He's sheer recklessness, going around destroying cities. He's not even from this planet, it's just Doomsday. Anyway, let's move on. He's one tremendous villain. His Halloween approach to villainy is just amazing. He caused havoc upon New York City. He owns Oscorp. It could be Green Goblin. Now let's mix it up a bit. It's time for a random half. It could only go to Two-Face, really. He's not really a villain, he's just a henchman who got acid poured in his face. He's just some wannabe with money. Well, anyway, enough of that. He's not a true villain. Let's move on. Now we're back on track. Let's move on to our number 3. Venom. It could only be Venom. He tried to take off that fiend of a spider, but he couldn't manage it. He wasn't strong enough, sadly, but then he went on to take over some guy called Eddie Brooks, the first villain. Venom, technically. And there's not much more than that. You wouldn't want to get on the wrong side of him. It's just some random alien. Next on my list of freaks, it could only go to the Riddler. His crimes are flamboyant. Some might say he's dickish for leaving clues for the police, but how can it be a riddle if you've got no one to solve it? It's pure genius, someone to admire, really. Anyway, time for our number 1 spot. Are you excited? I know I am. Now it's time for our number 1 spot. It's not really surprising. It could only go to the one, the only, Joker. He's Batman's arch enemy. He's known for this killing joke. His most famous saying, "Why so serious?" He's a fiend on the world. He causes havoc among Gotham. He's the one, the truly Joker. I thank you for listening. Goodbye. Gotham out.
News just in. Now we get to the main event. My top fuck. She likes her boobs being poked. Oh fuck.
Which one? God.
For fuck's sake, stop. Do it again.